listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. When I was a freshman in college, my friend Lisa and I would study for exams in the lounge at the end of our hall. We were up on the third floor in Branscombe. One night, we were studying for finals, and it was probably somewhere between 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and not much studying was sinking in at that point. Spontaneously, Lisa handed me a blank piece of notebook paper and said, "Let's write down everything we can think of that makes us happy, everything we're grateful for." I remember looking at that blank piece of paper thinking, maybe I could fill up close to all of those lines. And off we went, each writing down all the things that bring us joy. We were grateful for a break from studying, that's for sure. I wrote things like tulips, hikes in the woods, ice cream, creek walks, sunny days, and blue skies. I got to the end of the page, filling up all those lines, and started on a second column. And then I was writing in the margins, all kinds of things: kittens, concert crew, reading a great book, hugs, laughter, riding bikes. By the time we finished, we had both filled up an entire sheet of paper, front and back, with all the things we were grateful for. Then, with a little more popcorn and a Coca-Cola, we went back to studying for exams, refreshed and filled up. When I look back at that moment over 40 years ago, I mostly remember the feeling that came after focusing on gratitude. Honestly, I was surprised at how many things just kept popping into my head, for one, but I also remember feeling so much better after writing it all down. Like the gratitude shifted something in me in a very simple yet powerful way. I truly think that gratitude can be empowering, that we can feel more grounded, more present, and more willing to face whatever comes our way after focusing, even just for a few minutes, on gratitude, on all the things that we are grateful for. Not in an overly saccharine or toxic positivity kind of way, but in a way that allows us to embrace our lives with more courage and confidence, knowing that along with the challenges, there are bright spots of pure joy. Someone recently sent me a link to a really sweet short film called Gratitude, the Short Film, by Louis Schwartzberg. I highly recommend you go watch it over on YouTube, and I'll link to it in the show notes, which you can find at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 109. Here's one of my favorite quotes from that little film. "This is the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. And the only appropriate response is gratefulness." For probably 5 years now, I've had a daily gratitude practice. It's super simple. Every day, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. It's helped me realize, even on days that I think are the worst ever and that there couldn't possibly be anything good, I can always find joy in something, no matter how small. Here in the U.S., we're getting close to the holiday of Thanksgiving. And here on the podcast at this time of year, I always record an episode around my thoughts on gratitude. So if you want to hear more, go check out last year's episode called What Are You Grateful For? In it, I share this quote from Rudolf Steiner, who said, "One can develop love in the best possible way through gratitude." Check out the show notes for that episode, where you can also, in that episode, download a set of beautiful quote and inspiration cards that you can print out, put in your binder, hang up on your wall. So go check out the show notes and you'll be able to find that. And if you want some ideas for cultivating gratitude in children, like making a gratitude tree or a basket or jar, check out my episode on practicing gratitude as a family, which you can find in episode 7. I'll link to that one in the show notes too. I want to close by saying how incredibly grateful I am for you. The podcast would not exist or be able to grow the way it has without listeners like you. We are close to 60,000 downloads, which is mind-boggling to me. So thank you for that. And thank you for the work you're doing in the world by helping children learn and grow. It's such incredibly important work, something so dear to my heart. And I want you to know that I see you and I am grateful for all that you do to help make this world a better place. I am truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for tuning in today. Talk to you soon.
That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.